This time, we visit Motorcycle Live in Birmingham. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We kicked off the show by visiting the off-road experience. This is found in Hall 4, and I have to say it's not something we've tried before. Deb been a little bit nervous because of the height of the bikes. But this year they had some Royal Enfield Himalayans. They're quite low, so Deb thought she'd be able to fit on one, and of course she did. The course is fairly interesting, not too challenging, it's just enough to give you a taste of what off-road riding's like. Deb had a great time and really was impressed by the performance of the Himalayan. So much so that we trotted over to the Royal Enfield stand so Deb could have a better look at the Himalayan. I think I found your new Himalayan convert there. The Enfield stand contained lots of specials, mostly based on the 650 platform. And most of the bikes on show were indeed based on that platform, both the Interceptor and Continental GT and their various variants, all of which I have to say are very nice motorcycles. They're comfortable, and having ridden them and tested them on the road myself, I can say they perform extremely well. Also there was a complete range of the new 350 Meteor models. I have to say personally I quite like the base yellow and red ones. To me it looks the nicest, has the cleanest lines. The sitting position is surprisingly similar to my old California Motor Guzzi, although the bike itself is an awful lot smaller and lighter. Not an unpleasant sitting position, actually, I have to say. The Interceptor and GTs offer slightly different riding experiences, but both are equally comfortable. Royal Enfield's only new model on show was the Classic 350. They had a small range of these, although sadly they were not available for test ride. These machines are of course based on the Meteor platform, but offer a more traditional look and riding position. Enfield of course had a number of machines from their past, both from India and from Great British production also, including this very nice Cyber LP twin. With the EICMA show happening only the previous week, there were very few Italian bikes on show. Ducati bought a fairly small selection of their bikes. There were a few scramblers, some sports bikes, obviously very nice but rather uncomfortable ones. There was an example of the Super Sport machine there of course, and the Diavel and some of their adventure and off-road based bikes. But still, well done to Ducati for putting an appearance in at all. A lot of Italian manufacturers simply didn't bother. Although from a Ducati perspective, they do enjoy pretty good sales in Britain, so I expect the trip was worthwhile. One of the new machines there was the new Ducati Monster. This has a completely new frame to save a few kilos. Personally, I'd have sooner the bike was heavier and had the old trellis frame. Next, it was over to see what America had to offer, and for us, the Indian FTR is the best looking bike to come out of America for a very long time. We love the machine's aggressive lines. Very modern it may be, but it has a nice blend of tradition too, and the styling of the machine for us is just perfect. In fact, the more expensive version of the bike, all its carbon fibre, for me doesn't work quite as well. That said, all versions look an awful lot better than Harley's new offering, which to me looks plain lardy. Missing those old-fashioned Sportsters, Harley. Missing them a lot. There was also a rather interesting custom version of their cruiser, but the exhaust stuffed under the seat seemed like a pretty dumb idea to me. From Japan, I'm afraid, it was very much a matter of the same old, There was a new Z650. This is just based on their usual parallel twin with a sort of classic set of clothes. A proper 4-cylinder lump would have been a lot nicer, I feel. Honda had a newer version of their CB500F. This is a very excellent machine, of course, very similar to the CB500X and R, but it didn't have a great deal of improvements over the previous model. There was an SP version of the Fireblade, which I have to say was epically uncomfortable, extremely cramped, and not completely dissimilar to the Grand Prix bikes that were on shelf also. There were some very nice machines from China like the CF Moto, which we thought was very pretty, particularly the headlamp, and some pretty reasonably priced, quite nice bikes from Herald as well. These are also obviously Chinese made, although the build quality is definitely improving, and the performance is getting much more to the level that we would expect in Europe. From a British point of view, CCM were celebrating their 50th anniversary, and they had a lot of their Spitfire models on show. These are great bikes, though I do feel the handlebars are a little bit wide. They feel a little bit strange when you're sitting on them. Our favourite all-time CCM was the Foggy replica that they sold a few years back, and I think a nice cafe racer in a similar vein would go down very well. The Langham was another British bike on show. This uses a V-twin two-stroke engine built in Italy in a lightweight frame. Ariel had their highly original big V4 on show. Our only complaint about this bike would be the bizarre riding position. Norton were of course there with their big Commando models, but these machines are very much outgoing models, and the future is very much in the V4, and hopefully the new parallel twin, which we've yet to see. There were new V4s on show, both in sports models and in an all-new naked form. These look extremely nice machines, but of course they are a rather nice price also. But it'll be interesting to see what Norton produce as we go into the future. But for us, of course, the big news was the first showing of the new BSA Goldstar. This uses a 650cc water-cooled direct overhead cam 4-valve fuel-injected motor, which one would assume uses balance shafts to smooth the whole thing out. The fuel-injected engine, the makers claim, makes 44 horsepower, which should give it reasonable real-world performance. There is talk of production being somewhere in the West Midlands, and I really do hope that this comes to pass, particularly as the West Midlands has recently lost the production of Triumph, of course. So I feel that production anywhere in the Midlands, particularly in Birmingham given the name of the machine, would really give the region a boost and give the machine a sense of authenticity. But with the authenticity or not, this is a very nice looking machine, and I'm very interested to see how the bike rides in the future. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you managed to get down to the bike show sometime this week. If you did like it, please like and subscribe, and of course, thanks for watching.